Hello and welcome everyone to the probably final episode in our scenario of The One Who Watches From Below for Dungeon Crawl Classics. We're really looking forward to sharing this with you and I hope you're enjoying it so far. So if you are, please hit the like. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And obviously if you're on Twitch, then throw all those live comments in because we're recording this on Twitch before we take it over to YouTube. So yeah, this has been really cool, and it doesn't end here. This is the second of 3 scenarios linked in the Farg saga. And here we go. Yeah! How are we doing, everyone?
Jazz hands.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm so looking forward to this game. Judge Zach, welcome back. Thank you for running another episode of this fantastic scenario.
I'm having a great time. Let's keep going.
Yeah, totally. Erin, welcome back.
Hello.
And other Phil, welcome back.
Good evening.
You as well. How are you all doing?
Very good. Excited, a little bit worried as well.
Yeah.
So where we were.
Seeing who we can kill next.
Yeah. I mean, Erin and I have basically got no one left. We're on our last legs. I will actually just update my screen name as well. And the Farg
I hit
saga
double digits, didn't I?
Going really well. Did you what?
I hit double digits last session.
You did, and let's. In fact, if you use what little brain power you have this evening to will that number up above your head. Whoa, we're at 10. 10 fatalities so far, and that's probably going to go up. Let's face it.
Oh yeah,
probably it's a fair bit. I think you need to pick your favorites now.
My favorite is Farg.
Oh, right, okay. got there right away.
Oh gosh, if I remember correctly, we are in the depths of quite an impressive structure, and
lots of doors.
We're in some tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, like a pitch black
we got into the cave. Yeah, we gave up on doors and went down a cave instead.
So I'm going to roll up this broadcast and I'm going to throw it over to Judge Zach, who hopefully will catch it.
Caught it from the wrong side of the screen.
Should we try that again?
Not a great start. It's not a great start. Yeah. I'll tell you what, as you have all done such a great job of remembering the campaign so far, why don't you give all your characters a point of luck for...
Woo!
Yay!
So
what do we do with luck? Remind everyone.
So you can use luck to add to your rolls, essentially. Tap into the karmic forces of the DCC universe and make it work in your favor. So yeah, you're absolutely right. In terms of the wider campaign thus far, and must apologize if you're watching this back on YouTube because you've only just heard this in just recently, but as there has been a small amount of time between the real recordings. So you found an underground wizards complex with a wizard named Varuth Moss who was trapped in ice. He had a way to travel back to his plane of existence, but unfortunately that was smashed. We don't have to go into the details of that really, but regardless, you felt compelled to travel the land to try and find a map that leads to an artifact called the Black Pearl. The Black Pearl, Varuth believes he can use to create a new portal home where he can ask for forgiveness of Bobug Blizz, whom he defied before traveling across time and space. You're in the Cave of Secrets, in which you hope to find that map. And or at least that's where this part of the adventure began. You found a complex behind the Cave of Secrets that you have been exploring. Last session, you found some odd runes for Shignilzithrub. The whole place shakes every time it's said. And then eventually you found yourself into a dark underground cave, and where we left you, you had just found a natural cavern that was covered in. Come on, Zach. I think it was blue. phosphorescent mushrooms with yellow eyes in the center. And we left as one of those eyes turned their way towards you, inspecting the area's new denizens. Now, in terms of what you can actually see, so I can give you another idea here. Yeah, so the passage widens into a well-traveled intersection. So there's small footprints leading in all directions on the ground as you look, through the different paths and so forth. And there's clusters of mushrooms sprouting from floor to ceiling. These blue phosphorescent mushrooms, and a glassy yellow eye opens from the center of a mushroom cap and turns towards you. The other thing that's happening in this room is you can hear a muted thumping sounds coming from the ceiling, a rhythmic sort of boom, boom, boom sort of thing. So that's what you got.
So is the rhythmic thumping a bit like, so when we were upstairs, we heard some rhythmic thumping below us? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So the stuff you heard from below, maybe I didn't do a great job of describing it, so I'll just tell you. Essentially, you were able to connect that thumping from below being something to do with the eye stalk things that you were fighting at the time. So this one sounds more sort of mechanical, like it's rhythmic. It's whereas the other one was far more chaotic in the way that it.
Very good. And I was just thinking there was just one other little bit about that I thought was really significant from last episode to this episode, and that is that Erin's character Jem has now taken possession of a four-armed ape. Which I think, if you didn't manage to catch last episode and you just joined this one and you didn't know, I think that would be a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Jem has upgraded from a host of a rat to now a four-armed ape man. Yeah.
See, I mean,
you is forewarned.
In increased capabilities for communication and so forth,
Yeah. So, a lot of grunting and.
Cool. So if you look at the VTT there, you can see in the middle of the map there is kind of where you are right now. There's that crossroads, and there's things lead off in each of the directions that you can see. The one other thing that you may not be obvious from the map as well, everything is gradually sloping downward, and it's sloping downward from the top left corner of the map, and then down towards the right hand corner. So,
and is that the eye on top of the mushroom that we can actually see in the picture?
Yeah.
Too many eyes. Another terrible joke. Right.
Do any of these passages look bigger or wider, or do they all look the same sort of dimension? Are any particularly small or particularly wide? Or tall?
I've just noticed the eyes on the walls are blinking again.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's one other thing. Anyone who's watching along, just do what Tinderlost Jade has done there. Put some stars around it, and we'll allow the characters to interact with your eyes. So in terms of the size of these different, they all look similar in size, but it is all natural rock formations. So there are naturally ebbs and flows in the way that everything. But if you remember from last session, there was some sections that were only sort of like 5 feet wide in the tunnel that you came down, and it's similar sort of thing. There's not any pronounced differences between them.
What about the stench? So if I remember, the smell got worse and worse as we came down.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, do any of the roots kind of smell fresher?
Well, I mean, if you're giving it the sniff test,
just a second. What dice do I need for that?
yeah. Well, I mean, you can just make an intelligence roll, and you'll be able to sort of work that out. I assume this is you walking around.
Yeah. And what's the eye doing on top of the mushroom as we walk around? Yeah, I'm clever enough to be sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Clever enough to sniff.
Yeah,
cool.
Well, and to work out what the sniff might mean.
So as you start walking around, you take a few steps into the area, and more eyes open up on the different mushrooms and stuff until you realize that like there's just a room full of eyes on mushrooms that just sort of are following you.
Oh dear.
As you walk across the room. Disconcerting as that may be, no action is taken from the mushrooms, and you're free to walk around. And as you walk around, you're saying you're looking for where the smell sort of.
Well, I was just wondering if it got better.
Yeah,
maybe there's some fresh air coming in.
So it's not good anywhere, basically, right? But you in the same way as everything is sort of tilting downwards towards the bottom right of the map, also the smell gets worse going down towards there. So south is probably like the direct south one is probably where it smells the worst. And then
Okay, what are we going to do, folks? Do you want to do it? What do we think about all these eyes watching us? There's been eyes all over the place.
How big are the mushrooms?
So there's a big one in the middle at the top, but then the rest of them are. I mean, they're quite big, but they're not gargantuan, right? But they're well grown. They're well looked after from what you can see, right? I mean,
big as in normal mushroom, like foot tall, or are we talking 4 foot tall, or big as a person?
No. Yeah. So they're bigger than chestnut mushrooms, but as I say, they're not the size that it's going to be, the way you're going to be like, oh my god, gigantic mushrooms. I mean, they're already weird enough, basically, is what I'm saying with the eye. Yeah.
Okay, Brody's going to approach. The one that's the biggest eye, the one that opened first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go closer to it. And does it watch me? I mean, is it it's almost like sentinelly following me around?
Yeah. If other people are in the room as well, if they move around, then some of the eyes track the other ones as well. Okay. They're not all just following you, but they are following they're watching what's in the room, right? And they blink here and there. Yeah.
I can't imagine a mushroom eyelid now. That's horrible.
No, they don't blink in unison. So at least it's not that weird.
So like a one of those Mexican wave type blinking things.
Yeah.
Other waves are available. When Groovex is actually kind of intrigued by the stench, as a former and still probably technically employed shaman. He's intrigued to see, he's burning some herbs so that it's like a herby stench now. And he's super intrigued to see what's actually going on down there.
Okay, you want to go south?
Yeah.
Cool. The disembodied eyes on the wall look around nervously as they follow you along as well. And you can now see a further, sort of crossroads down south to where you are right now.
I will move that. Okay.
In this area, there's not a heck of a lot of note. The mushrooms have stopped. You notice that some of those small footprints have come down this way, as well as, I mean, those footprints that you saw were kind of like all over the place. It was like a well-traveled sort of area from what you could see, and some of them have followed down this way as well.
I don't know if I like the eyes watching us all the time. I mean, I take it there's hundreds and hundreds of them, yes. So if for example, if I was thinking of jabbing each one in the eye, would it take me an awful long time to go around and jab all eyes?
Yeah, it's going to take a long time. That was in the previous room. As I say, there's not more. The mushrooms are back where you were. The ones down there. Yeah. This is the walls here are bare. It's the footprints that have followed.
I'm feeling better than we've moved away from the irons.
What do the footprints look like? Are they like bare feet footprints or shoes or eight-legged stilettos? Or?
Do you want to make a intelligence check?
Yes. This will be Gem doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on the 4-armed ape man at the moment. So is it still her intelligence, or is it the ape man's?
No, I believe you take the ape man's stat block. Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't have intelligence. So I might con this. Zeb looks at the floor. Either way, it's 8 under 11. So no. He looks at the floor and goes, "Hey, look, it's footprints."
Okay. Cool.
Well, I'm quite happy that we're heading away from the eyes. So, should we keep heading south?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Can do that. So reveal another area of the map there down south. So that on the left there is quite a big opening.
Okay.
It's quite dark. You can't see. You could. I guess you're heading south, so you could turn right there or head east if you prefer that. But it does continue down south as well.
Let's keep going south.
Or west. Yeah, you want to keep going south? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Please.
Is the ground still sloping downwards, or has it leveled off? Because you said we were sloping down.
Yep, it is still sloping downwards. Yeah, yep, that is the case. I just realised I haven't cut that part yet. Okay, so I'll reveal more of the map down south there.
Oh goodness me.
So the revealing here is making it a little bit difficult, but there is further down south, or there is a skinny tunnel that heads off to the right over there. Oh, yeah, so there's a skinny tunnel that heads off to the east. There's one that goes sort of like a bit northeast, and there's one that goes south here. Again, we're looking at more natural rock here. Still very dark. Smells really bad. And the eyes on the wall suggested that maybe those little things are actually eye prints. Yeah. So that's kind of where you are now. Again, still natural rock. You're still sort of exploring the cavern, if you will.
I think south still at the moment.
Ooh.
Cool.
The ape agrees.
All right. So, in terms of if you're still doing your sniff tests and all that, because I mean, we'll go south. But if you're doing your sniff test, it was the east. The skinny one east is probably the stinkiest one at this point. But we can check out south on the way.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, cool. Right. So you head on down south here. And as you walk in, you see that there is like a whole heap of like wheelbarrows and stuff. In this room, they're arranged along the west side of the wall there. And in here, there's still that smell. It's really quite bad. As you walk in, you start looking at like the wheelbarrows and so forth. You hear a voice behind you. And as you turn, you see the elderly man from the entrance in the Cave of Secrets, the one that turned into smoke after you tried to squish him.
Yeah, we did.
And he's flanked by a group of small robed figures wielding curved daggers. And now but the difference between he was in, very he looked quite disheveled when you last saw him, but now he stands in wizardly robes holding a black tome in his hands. And he says, "You fools, I've tricked you with my name change. I'm not Whately the Whimsical, I'm Whately the Wicked." and now it's too late. He's coming. And he starts mumbling a strange phrase, and his head morphs into an enormous eyeball.
What the hell?
And his robes turn into a mass of gooey black tendrils, all littered with eyeballs. There's just eyeballs all over these black tendrils, and they shoot out at the cave walls. And he basically makes like a Venom from Spider-Man, sort of like splats out and makes like a web in front of the entrance that you've just come in. And the eyeballs floating in the goo all turn and stare at you with malice in their eye.
Oh.
So we're going to do some, let's do some initiative.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big man Gem bares her teeth and roars like an ape does.
Rory, eh?
Oh, forearms.
Beats his chest at a 4/4 beat.
She's totally going to roll a 1 now, isn't you?
Yeah.
I rolled an 11.
16 for me.
Oh,
8.
hang on. No, I didn't.
Sorry,
Wrong
9.
die. Oh, yeah, 16 for me as well. I rolled with the wrong die before.
We established that Phil has the higher agility last one, didn't we?
Yep.
And Aaron, what did you get?
9.
9. Okay.
I'm using my pink dice instead of my purple dice, which always roll low.
Okay.
Until you need them to.
Yeah.
Little figures rolled a 3. Okay. So we have Phil, Dark Orb Phil, which I realize your acronym is DOP, which is cool. And then Aaron.
Dobby has a
No, actually, no. Aaron's not coming first. It's going to be Whately the Wicked. I can't believe you fell for that. And then Aaron, and then HB. Cool. So Phil, the eyes on the wall narrow as they realize that it's Whately the Wicked.
Yeah, indeed. So I think Brody is going to try and call on his goddess, actually. We've got a kind of he said he's wicked. Yeah, my goddess has given me the power to turn the unholy. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let's try and get rid of the wicked guy. So let's have a look. Let me just check what I've got to add to it, because it's my luck and my other saves. Okay, so it's a D20 roll to see whether this works or not. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Oh, fingers crossed, everybody. The rolls have been terrible up till now. I've rolled a 17, and I get +1 for the level, +1 for the extra luck we got at the start. Thank you very much. And I think that's it. So that's a 19.
Okay. Right.
Oh no, and I get a +1 for my personality, a 20. So a 20 is a turn range of 60 feet, and it hits up to 2 hit dice, 3 hit dice.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's have a look what it does. So for one, it's
he has 3 hit die. So
it does T1, whatever that means. I don't know what that means for T1. It means one creature's turn. So it'll turn 1 3 hit die creature up to 3. So a D3, so that's 2 plus my level, so 3 2 hit die creatures, and it will turn up to 5 1 hit die creatures.
Wowee. What a roll. Yeah, I mean, all of the halfling hybrids are all like so what did we call them again? We called them
horriblings.
Yeah. All the horriblings are all chaotic in their nature, so they would, I mean, presuming you are lawful,
I'm neutral.
Then you're neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know
get a will save
because they're not truly unholy to you, right? Like
no.
In terms they're adjacent. So I mean, what would the turn actually have them do?
So that varies. Let's go and have a look.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because I think we're going to have to try and find some way to nerf it slightly to make it account for the fact that they're not truly unholy to you, right?
It says they move away at maximum speed and cower if unable to retreat. And they can flee for 3d10 minutes. So what we could do, I guess, is have them fearful of me. Mm-hmm. And I guess we could do it as, I don't know, instead of 3d10 seems like a long time. We could do, I don't know, I mean, up to you. You'll judge.
Yeah. So essentially they would need to be running from you for the length of time.
Yeah, okay. It says they move at maximum speed or cower if unable to retreat.
Okay. How does this sound? How about we make it, rather than them, that you can still get the 3d10, but rather than them running from you, they're just too scared to attack you and one other player character. So that way we can still have a fight. But
I've just read down here as well that if they're sorry about this, if they're 1 hit die or 2 hit die, what I rolled also gives them damage as well. So should we do that?
Right. Yep. All the horriblings are all. I think they're all 1 hit die. I think. Yes, they are. Whately the Wicked is 3.
Right. So it's 1d4 of. Oh no, sorry. It'll be whatever the dice is on here. So I did 20, so it's 1d6 with damage. Do you want me to roll for each individual one, or do you want one number for all of them?
It all comes from the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, one die. Oh, well, I mean, I guess you can choose.
I'm going to do 1 die for all of them. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, like you say, you know, my goddess has granted me the power. She's not going to go around and individually smite them, is she? So just one go. Everybody, fingers crossed that this is a good one.
Cool.
It's a 4.
No, okay. So all right. So you who's the other player character that you're going to protect as well as yourself?
What's our layout on where we all stood?
We're probably all pretty much next to each other, I would imagine, because we've all kind of walked in at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I'm going to.
I think Jem will be at the back as an enormous ape.
Just a second. Let me just check Brody's intelligence. He's ordinary guy, right? He's going to go for protecting the person who thinks he's going to cause the most havoc. So a 4-armed ape man is also going to be protected.
Okay, cool. So you turn and Whately gives his monologue, revels in the fact that he's managed to deftly trick you into thinking that he was a mere Whately the Whimsical, and all that tendril stuff happens, and you turn and see all this, and you're deftly offended. You hold up your holy symbol and you drop to your knees. Yep, cool. You drop to your knees, and light just begins emanating out of the mace and so forth, and you and Jem both feel quite warm and so forth. The eyes in the tendrils start going really chaotic and so forth, and looking all around, and the horriblings, they all lean down, they grab their heads, and they're like that, and you underneath the cloth of their hoods, you just see like the cloth kind of go like, and they drop to the ground, and then just like goo just comes out of their head, or like all of them. There's 4 of them, all of them, and then they all drop. They're all dead. You killed them all with that.
Damn.
So yeah, that would be
full party brain pop.
If only we were counting the number of baddies we were killing.
We'll have to do that in the bottom corner.
So how many herblings was that?
There was 4 of them, and they all got
wiped.
Yeah.
Can I just say though that's only the second time that Brody's managed to call on his god, because all the other times he's failed. And the first time we did it, if you remember, was that paralysis thing, and then never got a chance to use it. Never mind.
Yeah, well, Ildavir clearly comes through when it matters, right?
When it matters, yes.
Right, Dark Orb Hill.
I mean, is there anything left to do?
Well, wicked.
Yeah,
so you
Wheatley's got this like great big eyeball, right?
Yeah. Yep, he's got a great big eyeball for a head, and now he's made out of black goo and eyeballs.
Sweet. So, Groovex is going to knock an arrow and just try and like fire it straight into the eyeball.
Sure.
With a 17.
17. Let's have a look here. Yeah, 17 hits. Yep.
Cool. Where is my damage die? There it is. That's a 4.
Okay. So you knock your arrow, you fire it out, and so forth, and you watch as it goes into the goo, and you can see, because there's like spaces in between and all that kind of stuff. You can see that the arrow traveled all the way through and out the other side, taking some goo with it. What I'm trying to narrate here, because what I like to do as a judge is I like to let you discover things about the monsters as you're going. What you've discovered there is essentially that he takes half damage from non-area attacks. So because it was like a point attack, he took half damage from that. So that's what you see. So now it is going to be his turn.
Hang on, I've got another character yet.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I thought I killed them.
No, I've got 2. Somehow. Yale is going to try and attack one of those tendrils, basically.
Cool.
With a mighty battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
The rolls a 7. Hang on. Plus the die. 8, 9, 10, 11 to hit. So it's probably not very good.
It doesn't miss by much.
How about if I burn a point of luck?
It hits.
Hey! That luck I got earlier was supremely lucky.
There you go.
I'll turn that 1 into a 0.
Quickly whisper something like, braced it a little bit. Yeah. Take all the credit for all the things that are going on.
Yeah.
And I'll take, that'll be... Yeah, it will. 10 points of damage. So
10 points. Okay.
Of non-area damage.
Yeah, so again, you swing through your battle axe, and there's just goo going everywhere and so forth. But as you do each of the slices, the goo starts congealing back together and so forth. There's like in between slices almost. So again, half damage there. Is it now Wheatley's turn?
Yes.
Go on then.
Okay, so Yale is closest and currently fighting him. So some of the goo, that splashes out and so forth from the battle axe, some of it leans forward and tries to grab Yale, and that would be a 10 against your AC.
Yeah, my AC is 10.
Cool. So the black tendrils start going around you and grabbing you, and you start getting hung up in the on the wall and so forth, and some of the eyes start turning and moving towards you along the tendrils. But that's going to be the end of his turn for right now. So now it's going to be Aaron's turn.
Phil, very quickly, did all of your characters go?
No. That's okay.
Okay.
Come back.
Well, yeah. Just, I guess. Yeah. Do them now if you want.
Yeah, do them now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And then I'll follow
so
up.
I've got Yarp. Then is our dwarf. He's just going to try and brutalise it, so he's going to move in next to Yarley. He's got a staff and a shield bash, so we're going to go D20 and a D16. Here we go. Oh, we've got a natural 20 on the 20 and a 12 on the 16.
Okay, all right. And that was a dwarf.
Of course you did.
It's like my lovely dice. It does 20s or terrible. That's all it ever does.
This is not how you make friends playing DCC, Phil. Not with the judges anyway. So dwarf. So you watch. You need to look on your sheet for your crit die.
Yeah. So crit die is a. Oh, I can't see it. A D10.
Okay, sure. So roll a D10 and add your luck modifier. And I've got the table here for you.
We've rolled a 2.
Okay. On the die, and then do you have a luck modifier?
Yeah, +1.
Cool.
So
3. All right. So foe steps into an attack. So I guess the tendrils sort of like lean forward, and you attack them as they come in with your weapons, and you get to do an extra D8 damage with this strike.
Oh, very good. So the staff is a D4 and a D8. Just a second then. So that's 3 and 6, so 9 points of damage. And I get a +1 on melee damage as well for attacking, so that's 7. 6 and 3, 9 altogether.
Okay, cool. And then the shield bash.
And the shield bash is a D3, a 1.
Okay, cool. All right, so again, like you hear the wet pats of the tendrils as you wade into them. You've got the extra damage as it tried to go and grab you, but that it's still up, and the eyes are still looking with great malice and intent at its meal of Yarley. So now it is Jem and Seb's turn.
Cool. So we'll start with Zeb. He pulls out his short bow and just fires. He's had great success firing straight at the eyeballs of things over this adventure. So he, feeling buoyed, he's going to do just that. He's going straight for the eye, and he saw that the other arrow went straight through it. But he's hoping to get it at a slight angle so he can get it to wedge instead.
Okay, sure.
So he's not going straight on, he's going at a slight angle to the eye to try and get it to go through it.
Righto.
So it's 13, 14, 17?
17's going to hit, yeah.
And it's a 3 on the D die, so he manages to get it to go diagonally, sort of at an angle through.
So what we're doing mechanically here is that it's not half damage then, is that what we're saying?
That's what I'm trying to go for.
Yeah,
cool. It's not a straight through the pupil, but more of a sort of through the whole thing. And then damage, what was it? D6. 7 points of damage.
Okay, well, do you want to tell us how he dies?
Yay!
With this arrow flying through the air at an angle that sort of skims straight through the past the iris and diagonally through the pupil and wedges the flight of the arrow wedge as it goes through, and with that the pain of it it sort of makes the eye dilate and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the whole thing just starts to melt, like black ichor melting all around the eye, and the whole thing just sort of caves in on itself and in and around the arrow, and this whole thing, just tendrils and everything just sort of begin to into a big puddle on the floor.
As all that happens, like the sounds that you get is, it just sounds like someone, like something really large screaming in reverse, like as in like you've recorded something screaming and then played it backwards. And you know, it's all very ethereal sounding and so forth as it goes, and it does do the melting and all the black ichor, and until there is just a pool, like as it all shrinks into nothingness, black smoke starts evaporating off it and so forth, and there's nothing left except the pool and the black tome that he was holding in the pool. As I say, black smoke is coming off it as if that it's beginning, the tome is beginning to dissolve.
Jem, controlling the four-armed ape man, leaps forward and grabs at the tome to rescue it from the pool of ichor that is sat in, seeing that it looks like it might be disappearing before their very eyes. Makes a grab for it.
Why don't you make me a DC 15 agility check to see if you can get there in time, as it is currently dissolving.
I will burn. I've got a 12.
Mm-hmm.
No, 13. Sorry. I will burn 2 points of luck to make it happen.
Yeah. Let's do it. So yeah, you dive over. Now the thing about the book as you go to grab it is that it is actively dissolving, and you watch as pages and so forth, you know, sort of are lost forever in time as they begin to melt. So you're able to get to it quickly enough, and you've got the wherewithal to think quickly that you would you just start ripping pages out to see if you can sort of keep them away from the acid and so forth. And one thing that you do manage to rip out is a 3rd level spell.
Nice.
Since it's huge at level 1, you did manage to save that, and it is a spell of Shigazil Nizrub. So I can share the full details of that with you.
The whole room starts to shake.
It's called Book of the Dead, and I can share the details of that with you at some point.
Gratu Barata.
So as Ape Man, she's got these pages, and the bits that are sort of dissolving away, that just throws them and rolls the important pages up, wipes them down, rolls them up, and keeps them safe, and tucks them under one of the 4 arms to keep it safe.
Sure. I'm just trying to get a copy of that spell for you. But yeah, so now you're in a room with the wheelbarrows, and all sorts of horribling goo lying around. As well, and there's no longer black ichor sort of goo, but you kind of took care of that.
Then the wheelbarrows are kind of just ordinary garden equipment, what we've seen earlier, where they were tending to the worms and stuff.
Right. So yeah, when you go to look at those things, you turn over some of the wheelbarrows and so forth, and there is some treasure in them, in the bottom of them and so forth. They look like they have been, the way that they're sort of arranged and all that kind of stuff. It looks like these things have been used to transport treasure. So there's 1 gold piece that you find in one of them, and in the bottom of another you find 7 silver pieces, and you also find 6 copper pieces. There's 4 wheelbarrows in total, and they all look to be in pretty fine working order. I can't. It's been so long now. I can't remember who was the tool surveyor, but whoever that was, if they're still alive, was the one that was looking at the.
I don't know if they are anymore. Are they?
Yeah.
Mine were hunter, shopkeeper.
I just remember someone admiring a shovel in the first.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what you got. That's where you are.
Goodness me.
Well, I guess we should keep looking, right?
I think we've just got to rid this place of all the foulness.
I agree. This is great.
So you remember I was saying that the smell was coming mostly from the east.
Yeah, so we've kind of worked that out now. So
I mean, back up to
this way. Yeah, should we head off in the east direction?
Absolutely.
Cool.
So yeah, you continue. You can see it's still natural caves. It gets quite skinny in some places, but you're able to continue on. What I'll do is I'll just show you what happens next. So you come out onto a landing like what you can see there, and maybe a better view of it can be seen when I load up this screen here. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of where you open up to, and you can see down there. Now, so you descend a set of stairs down to where that start is, and the stairs are carved into the rock. There's further stairs carved into the rock further up that lead up to a lookout sort of vantage point. This place stinks real bad. Like real bad. It smells bad. It's like sulfur and just the smell of death in here. The ceiling is naturally formed, but it's littered with so many sharp stalactites that it looks unnatural. Like it looks like a great white's shark jaw. All the teeth all sort of row onto each other and stuff. You get the same sort of thing here on the roof. There's just like they look so sharp almost to be serrated. And ahead there's a stairway up to a stone altar that looks over a depression which has stairs leading down either side of it. So that's what you got at the moment. You're just at that start, so you're probably 30-40 odd feet away.
Okay.
Jim's just going to knuckle straight in through the archway.
As well. Yeah.
Just
throw some more. Kruvax will throw a few more herbs on his lantern and kind of cover his mouth a bit and power forward.
Jim's got to power forward to try and get away from these stinky herbs that Gruving's trying to burn.
Well, Brody was going to suggest that as we keep coming across kind of like adversaries that seem prepared to want to kill us, that we should maybe prepare to go and have a look. But the party's just gone ahead, so we're just going to carry on and walk behind the rest of everybody else. Let's go on. Let's see what happens.
Power through.
So as you start walking down and so forth, the light like sort of glistens off the walls in different sort of varied ways. So can you just bring the VTT back for just one moment?
Can Jem go up the steps onto the viewpoint, please?
You can. You might want to hear what you see as you walk down that passageway, though, because what you can see is the walls are just covered in eyes of different colors and shapes, and they all follow you in unison as you walk down. But yeah, you can go up onto that platform there.
Jem gives them the eye back. So the four-armed ape is walking forwards and looking forwards with its eyes, and Jem's eyes are giving the stink-eyed back at them.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so You walk up, and on top there is a. Have a point of luck for that. You've done very well controlling those eyes throughout this part of the adventure. It's great. So you walk down. You walk up on top of the altar. On top of the altar, there's a gold coin, as well as there's also like a tray, like a plate, sort of like a tithe bowl, plate, like what you saw at the beginning. The other thing that you see as you look down into the depression, because you've got such a better view of that area now, is you can just see like mounds upon mounds. There must be 3 or 4 dragon hordes worth of gold and treasure, all in the depression. You can see all sorts of stuff down there. In
I think the ape's seen another wicked man, from the sounds of it.
Yeah. So what are all the rest of the characters doing with Jem's four-armed ape man? Going nuts.
Gruvex also would go up there because he's been doing a lot of ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that vantage point is kind of a natural place to go. Seeing that gold coin, that was not in the tithe bowl, I presume.
No, that was on the side, and you can't see in the tithe bowl from where you're standing. You'd have to look in.
Okay, so he will pick up the gold coin and just hold it and look in the tithe bowl.
Yep. So the tithe bowls, it has like a small pile of enough to probably fill a small bag worth of assorted coins. Yeah.
He's going to put the gold coin in.
Sure. Yep. So you do that. There's not really any noticeable effect from having done that, but yeah. Phil, Harold, Barbo, Brady, and Yarp.
I think they're going to start moving down the west set of stairs. So they've gone up and having a look. We're going to start sneaking down the west side to have a look into the depression.
Okay, sure. Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, because we've not been able to see yet because we didn't go up to the top. So we don't know what's going on.
So you turn the corner and you just see, as I say, piles upon piles of gold and treasure. There's lock boxes nearby. There's treasure chests. There's in particular you see there's like a blue wand and a gleaming sword that glow in a sort of aura. You also see a leather scroll case. These are all the things that sort of catch your eye. Anything that looks like it could be pearl-like and black? No. As I say, the things that if you're looking around for things in particular, as I say, the blue wand and the gleaming sword, and there's a scroll case, like a case, sort of like a leather thing to protect the scroll. Yeah.
There's a whole heap load of treasure down here, guys. I think we've found the hoard. So is this all? I've forgotten his name now. Willard the Wicked, or whatever his name was.
Whately the Wicked, yeah.
Whately.
Yeah.
Is this all his?
I don't know, but it could be ours. There were some wheelbarrows back there, says Zeb. Sorry. Just sort of pointing back towards where we'd been and where there were some wheelbarrows. It's there are wheelbarrows back there, and well, I don't know. We could each laden up a barrow, I suppose, and keep us going for a month or two.
Carlo says, well, we've lost a lot of people along the way, and
compensation.
Maybe we could take something back for their families.
Absolutely, compensation sounds like a good idea. I think we should do it. Do you know what? If nobody else wants it, that sort of weird blue stick looks quite interesting. I think I'll have that. and he starts sort of picking up gold and gems and things and trying to stuff them in his pockets and reaches for the blue wand.
Cool. You go to grab the blue wand, and a sudden blast of wind from the pit knocks you to the floor. The entire chamber is bathed in green light that shines from the pit. So in the center of the pit, you'll now see the full map there. The entire chamber is bathed in green light, and it shines from the pit as a gargantuan rubber mass of tendrils, fins, and eye stalks thrust up from the depths, and enormous eyes on, like all the enormous eyes on the wall, glare at you as you pick up the wand. It is clear that it's you picking up the wand that's the problem here. The eyes all glare at you, and a maddening sound like the screech of monkeys and breaking glass thunders in your skull for a moment. You think for a moment, hang on, it's like the way that the intonation of all the different sounds and all that makes you think that maybe like it's some sort of like language being spoken to you, but it's just crazy. It's like chaotic sort of stuff. And the walls shudder as a stalactite falls from the ceiling and crashes into the floor. And that's, so the whole complex is going nuts at this point.
What are you going to do?
He picks it up.
Okay.
He picks the blue wand up. Yeah, he goes for it, picks it up. The craziness going. He's
Gold
right
fever.
for it. Grabs it. Yeah, gold fever. He's right. Gone a bit doolally. He's going for the blue wand. In his mind, he's thinking, well, I've already killed tons of things with eyes. What's some more gribbly monsters with eyes? I'm a dead shot right in the middle of eyes. So be fine.
So that it's not unfair in me helping you to understand what you're standing in front of here, right? Like if you have a look at the map, like this eye monster is like hundreds of feet large. You know what I mean? Like it's like this is, so yes, you've fought other things with eyes, but it would be unfair of me to think that, for me to let you think that this is just another eye monster, right? Because it is clearly not.
No.
Yeah. What are the other characters doing?
Readying weapons and taking a step back.
Yeah, I think both Groovex and I think Yale actually has started going back already to get a wheelbarrow. So it's not. So currently has no idea what's just happened. Groovex, on the other hand, is, as a shaman, is not really too fond of the idea of getting into unsurvivable situations. And has knocked an arrow, but is taking a few steps back along with Phil's characters. And
whereas Jem, as the four-armed ape, with the noise starting up and the yowling, and was that noise only what Zeb could hear? Or
no, it was everyone. It was in everyone's head. Like,
so with that, the ape responds in a sort of display of and leaps from the vantage point down to the piles of gold towards Zeb, because Jem and Zeb have been sort of adventuring together.
Cool. So they're near. So you were near the blue wand, the gleaming sword, and the scroll.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Can I get so Jem, having picked up this wand and so forth, has probably had a moment to appraise some of the other stuff as well. Are you able to make me an intelligence check?
Zeb, yes, not Jem, because Jem's currently an ape, but Zeb looks at it and rolls a 14.
Yeah, great, cool. So, you know, having the, as in the moments before you picked up the wand and stuff, you're obviously appraising these different sort of artifacts and so forth. You notice that the scroll case on the side has got the word Pearl written on the side of it. Yeah. So, nonetheless, we're going to roll some initiative for all this.
Would it be allowed for Zeb to shout, "This has Pearl" written on the side of it?
Yeah, that'll be a
where
free
he
action.
notices it.
Yep, sure.
So others in the room are also aware.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I have not rolled great for initiative. Right, Dark Orc Phil? What's your initiative?
Not very high. Hang on. Wrong die again. That'd be an 8 for me.
Cool. And Phil?
A 9.
And Aaron?
I got a 10.
Yeah, inexplicably, you all still act before my. That's I guess all that chaotic sounds and so forth are quite distracting.
Big effort, yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So that's going to be Aaron first, then.
So is the tentacle monster the only? There's no other monsters or anything have appeared at this point. It's just that in the middle of the room.
At the moment, I mean, there's also eyes all over the walls, but these are the only things that seem to be alive in here.
Then eyes all over the walls, all the way through.
Yeah.
Can the ape man reach the thing in the middle of the pit, the room? Is it reachable, as in like melee range?
No, because this thing is coming out of like a giant crevasse in the middle, and it's sort of like rearing up, but it's not taking up. It's not the full crevasse. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you wouldn't be able to hit it in melee.
Okay, in which case the giant ape scoops four enormous handfuls of gold and gems and whatever else are lying around, and thrusts them as hard as he possibly can, throws them all at the monster in the middle of the room.
Great, cool. You can just roll agility for the attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's your goddamn tribute.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a donation.
16?
16 actually hits.
Yeah. What sort of damage does fists full of gold and gems do?
D3.
D3. Times 4 because it's 4 fists full?
No. I try my best. No, I try my best not to say no as a judge, but no.
In which case, that's a 2.
Okay. So, all right. Just to give you the sort of idea of the effect that this thing has had, that your gold attack has had on it, like we're talking like less than 3% of its HP. Like that's where you're at with that. So whatever we want to do in terms of role play describing that, but just give you an idea. That's so they all bounce off these tendrils. Yeah, exactly.
It just annoys it.
yeah. So
so that was Jem and Zeb. So Zeb's got the blue wand. He picked up the blue wand because that's what triggered all this, and he'd also appraised the scroll case and shouted, "This has got the pearl written on it." Would he have put it back down on the floor, or would he just have grabbed both and ran then at that point?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think having seen the four-armed ape throw gold as a distraction at the eyed monster. He's got the scroll case in one hand, the blue wand in the other, goes, "Thanks, Gem," and with that turns and runs as fast as he can in the other direction.
Okay, so you got the scroll case and the wand and you're running off.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, so you're using basically all of your movement to get back down the hallway. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, so Phil, your turn.
I think Yarp's gonna kind of step forward and kind of cover for Zeb running back. So he's going to use his shield to try and protect from whatever's coming towards it, because it's out of melee range and he's not a missile attack person at all. He's not going to reach it with his staff, so he's going to kind of like step in the way. Barbo is going to get his trusty sling out. He's going to flick it with a stone. So we're going to try. Let's have a look. Make sure it's a D20. It's a 12. I don't think he gets... let's have a look. I think he does get a few pluses actually for missile. +1. So a 13.
Nah, doesn't hit.
Not that we'll be able to
tails into the pit.
Yeah. Another donation. And Brody would normally use his mace. I think he's going to hold his mace up, hoping that his god's going to protect him, and he's going to start walking backwards away from this evil thing. Yeah,
cool. All right. So everyone thus far is essentially had a quick pot at it and was like, okay, I'm out. I'm ducking. Yeah, cool.
The reason
Dark
that gold
Phil?
has stayed there.
Yeah.
I think there were a couple of things that were left in the treasure room. So we picked up the blue wand thing. Was there a sword? Was there something else?
There was also a sword, yeah.
I think Groovex... Well, okay, question to the judge. Would Groovex have enough time, because he's still at the top of this kind of altar, kind of whatever you want to call it, would he have time to kind of run forward, grab that sword, and then start running back?
And stay alive?
Sure.
I think that was the question.
No,
maybe.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened.
I feel like logging in as another person and just making some notes down for the eyes on the wall. Don't do it, Phil.
Okay, he has knots and arrow, so I think what he'll do is as he had the tension there already, he'll release that arrow and then leg it.
Cool. And so I can keep track of everything as well. So at the moment, what the characters have taken is the wand, the map, and someone also took some pockets full of gold or something.
Zeb just put it was probably maybe no more than I don't know, 3 gold pieces and 2 gems of whatever color, and it was just little as he picked up the other bits.
I mean, it may surprise you to know that there's a table for this. So
TCC, there's a table for everything.
Yeah.
The only other thing that we basically we took the treasure out of the wheelbarrows as well. We found.
Yeah. So you've already got that, but then so essentially what we're saying is because there's one on the table for pockets and there's one for a small bag. And so I was trying to work out where on that table we sit. It sounds like we got pockets. Yeah.
Pockets. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Zeb's got pockets, but Gem's got nothing because she ain't got no pockets. Still tucked under one arm are those pages that she took from that black tome.
Cool. All right. So now we're doing Dark Old Phil.
So I rolled an 18 on that arrow.
That's a hit.
Yay!
Killed it.
Burn all of your luck.
That's a 3.
3 damage.
Just basically,
It
so
goes
he
on
just
through all of the eyes.
So he's not a warrior, unfortunately. So he, just because he had that attention anyway, he just let it go, turns round without checking to see whether or not it connects. It's easier for him to release the arrow than it is for him to unnotch it. Unnotch it and all that sort of stuff. Turns, runs, and shouts, "Yale! For fuck's sake!"
That's the battle cry of Fog,
exactly. Which is enough probably for Yale to turn around and just see that everyone is running. He's just been she has just been kind of nonchalantly walking over to the wheelbarrows, kind of almost sort of like a hi ho, it's off to where we go kind of thing, just sort of,
everybody else is overtaking
with the exactly with the battle axe over her shoulder, just kind of do. So that's so then Yalo, seeing that everyone is running, she's not the most intelligent of people, but she understands that the cleverer people are legging it.
Cool. All right. So that's all your characters done. So now this Titanic eye monster thing, like the eyes sort of turn to the four-armed ape man, and he must make a DC 15 will save. The eye Tokyo drift past Yale.
I like it.
19.
Oh,
19. Fantastic. All right.
Plus cool. 2 on will saves as a four-armed ape.
Okay, cool. So, but you hear like screaming and crashing and so forth in your head. This thing. It seems like, the characters now have an idea that it was trying to like dominate you, and instead it starts further screaming in your head. Hit your AC for 23.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Yeah, cool. I was just making sure,
Yeah. The AC is 15 on a four-armed ape, so.
Okay, so it grinds away in your mind, and you're both getting sort of psychological damage from past trauma in your own life, but also from the ape's life as well. So just everything's coming crashing down around you. You take 5 points of intelligence damage.
Is that permanent?
It's well, look, you ain't gonna fix it right now.
No, that's fine. 5 points of intelligence damage.
Cool. There's also going to be a tendril whip come towards you as well. The tendril whip is for 13 against your AC.
Miss.
Okay, so it comes whipping out and tries to grab you. All the eyes all turn towards Jem as well. The four-arm ape of Jem. They all turn and hit your AC for a 6. So that's unfortunate. But they all started glowing red, and the room, the whole room, you can feel it heating up. It's just the room goes up a couple of degrees in a matter of seconds, sort of thing. As the eyes glow red, they sort of fizzle out a little bit.
Scared by the posturing of the four-armed ape man.
All right, so the four-armed ape man is right next to the right next to the pit, and I think Zeb was running, weren't they? So
and Yart was trying to step forward and give them some coverage once they got a bit further away.
Cool.
When everybody else.
All right, so it's Aaron's turn.
Sorry, is it mine?
Yes, your turn.
Okay, and how far will Zeb have managed to get? So he was running. Has he managed to completely clear the entire treasure hoard and back to the stairs?
It'd be pretty close. They didn't take any other action, did they?
No.
Yeah. So then, you can do it. You'll be
so in which case he just keeps running. He just keeps running. Takes both actions to just run back towards that portal, past the stairs, run back that way. So he's doing that. Jem, as the having now experienced some of the force of the mental domination of the eyed monster and the heating up of the room from the eyes, there's a feeling that this could get messy if we hang around here much longer. With that, with a final sort of. She controls the four-armed ape man to grab a fistful of treasure from the hoard. So 4 fists full of treasure, where this spins around and starts making a run for the door. And the movement on a four-armed ape is 40 rather than 30.
Great, cool. So you can probably make it all the way to the door in one action then. Cool.
Yeah.
As Zeb has now left the room, having taken further running action, they turn as you're running, and you look to see all of those different eyes just flooding out of that big sort of vault room, and they're all coming along the walls, chasing, they're all looking with great intent and so forth out of that room. Dark Wolf chasing
Zeb. Cool. They're chasing Zeb.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, both of my characters are just gonna keep running, really. Trying to backtrack. We didn't find any other ways out, so probably just trying to find the exact way out that we came in.
Sure. Cool. All right. So you're gonna keep going out that way then?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now as the ape man is still in the room, hasn't quite left yet. We're gonna have another go at a DC 15 will save for the domination. Wait, have we done Phil? We have done Phil, haven't we? No? Did we skip
We've done Dark Orb Phil, but we haven't done other Phil.
Oh, right. We may have skipped other Phil. Sorry. Do you want to do other? Do you want to have your turn before we go?
All it was that Barbo and Brody were already backing out and leaving.
Oh, is that? So I just didn't remember it. Yeah. Okay,
yeah, and
cool.
Yarp.
So
Yarp's at the kind of bottom of the stairs with his shield out, trying to offer some form of protection as Jem and Zeb run back. So Zeb's already run past, and Jem's on the way.
Cool. All right. So a DC 15 will save on Jem, please.
That was a 16 that time.
Okay. Wow. I really wanted that to work. Cool. So then we're gonna have another couple of. I'm just gonna say what's written here. Psychic screams against you. So that's a AC attack on your AC for 17.
That's a hit.
And then also for 20.
That's also a hit.
Okay, so there is going to be all sorts of intelligence damage going on here.
She's gone from an intelligence of 18. She's going to be a vegetable in the end.
She's going to be a fog.
Yeah, she's the wizard in the party as well.
Oh no!
Well, hopefully she'll heal up over time.
We shall have to ask.
So that's, I think that's 15 intelligence damage.
What happens when your intelligence goes below 0?
it dies. You die.
Vegetable.
Yeah. So the ape man just like screams and starts like pulling all its hair out, like like chunks of hair come out into its fist and so forth, and it just sort of like drops and then falls, and the eyes on the wall hit the eyeballs that have fallen off the ape man with some heat rays, and they just go poof and just pop both of Gem's eyes. Now, Gem knows she's not dead. So, but we'll come to that, I guess, a little bit later. But you're not dead. So yeah, but everyone else sees you die. Or sees the ape man die and the eyeballs
explode.
So
eye goo.
Was it Barbo in the who had the shield in the doorway?
No,
yeah, right, okay. Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna have 5 against Yarp's AC. Jeez, these monsters can't roll for crap. Oh my god. These guys are supposed to be so scary.
Yarp's shield obviously works, so that's armor class 11, so fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that one was so you see like sort of like smoke and so forth like billow towards you, and you start feeling really fearful for what's coming towards you. You swipe your shield through the smoke and so forth, and it doesn't dissipate in a way that like smoke would dissipate if you did that. The smoke just like completely disappears instantly, like as soon as you do the swiping thing. So that is that. Now it's going to be Erin's turn. The eyes continue also flooding out of this area and chasing any characters that are on their way out.
Zeb just keeps running. He's
cool.
He's running, and there might be a little bit of a high-pitched girly scream coming from him at the same time. It's a bit of I'm not really an adventurer. And he just runs. He's no idea what's going on behind him. He's seen that there's eyes following him down the wall.
Yep.
Run.
One thing I haven't been doing a great. Sorry.
It's all right, go on.
The one thing I haven't done a great job of narrating either as well is that the whole complex is shaking and rocks are falling from the roof and so forth as you're going as well.
Yeah, no, we got that. It's the Indiana Jones one.
And it's the stalactites that were falling down from the ceiling in that first room as well. And so it's run away.
Yep. Cool. All right. And so, Phil, I mean, if you say your characters are now running as well, then we're basically going to montage our way to the end because we're just going back
essentially, Barbo and Brody were already running, and now Yarp's, everyone's either out or dead that's next to him. He just battered away a smoke tendril that tried to get him. He's turning and running as well.
What I will say is that Yale and Groovex, who are also running, will be goaded on by Zeb's screaming, and will both also be screaming. So you've got this giant, Conan sort of style, but female, almost sort of warrior barbarian type. And he goes, ah!
Goodness me, like, that's gonna start freaking wine out soon.
I'm imagining they're a bit like, you know, when the in the 80s and 90s action movies when people are running away from like the car that's going to explode or whatever. It's kind of that kind of. Too old for this shit.
Yeah, we're the Indiana Jones run away from the boulder moment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you got. So as you're going through the complex, this sea of eyes are just chasing you, and they're shooting out all death rays and heat rays and fear rays that would have been great to have actually had work mechanically, but I couldn't roll the bloody dice, and so all those things come out. And you run back up through the temple that you're in, and past you duck over black across the checkerboard thing with the electricity and so forth. Once you get to the scary doors that originally where Gem had touched the eyes, you find Gem, and they have their eyes back. They're bloodshot as anything. You take 1d3 worth of damage, which I rolled a 2. But your intelligence is back and all that kind of stuff. And essentially, the eyes just sort of popped back into existence in your head. And so when all that happened down there, you were like, whoa! And your body became reanimated again. But you took quite a bit of damage and pain from the eyes popping back into existence.
Can we narrate in that Yale, the moment she spots Jem, just basically does like an American football, sort of almost a tackle, but then lifts her up and puts her over the shoulder and just keeps running?
Yep, sure, we're doing that. Cool. So you're all running out, and as I say, the cave's coming down and so forth, and you come running out of the Cave of Secrets, and you're just followed by crashing dust and rocks, all getting spewed out the front of the cave, and you come round and you turn and you see Varuth Moss standing there. He's smoking a pipe that he's fashioned out of a taxidermy squirrel. And he's just like, they go all right then.
No.
Eyes. There's so many eyes.
The eyes. I forgot to tell you about the eyes.
I really wish you'd remembered. That was just freaky.
There's just so many eyes. And Jem is just like, yes, I'm. Oh God, I'm more than just a pair of eyes. Oh thank goodness for that. I'm more than just eyes. I am more than just eyes, aren't I, guys? I am more than just a pair of eyes. I am a person again.
You do seem to have some 4 hairy armpits, though.
She sort of, did anybody pick up the paper that was stuffed under the ape man's armpit?
No, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's
stuffed under his armpit?
It was a spell. It was a level 3 spell that
I know that
out of a black tower.
Sorry, he went down on the ground with a sea of coins he picked up.
Perfect. That was a perfect spell.
Well, you should have memorized it then.
I was an ape man. But Zeb, what have you got there in that scroll case?
You could have written it down on all your hands. What is in the scroll case?
Yeah. So Jem
shouted out Pearl.
So what is in the scroll case? Oh, and I like the blue stick. I shall have the blue stick.
Cool.
Jem takes the blue stick, the blue one from Zeb, and pointedly looks at him to reveal what is in the scroll case.
Cool. So there's also a set of eyes that have followed you out of the tomb there. Varuth looks down and sees them, and he's like, "Looks like a few got away." And he turned around, he stamps on the eyes, squishes them. And then you hear a scream, and like it's from just nearby. Like, oh, my eyes! Oh my gosh! And I've never felt so much pain in all my years. And you turn, and there is a level 0 character there that we're going to be able to use for more audience participation as we go along. We can name him at some point, but we'll have him follow us around so that in future episodes we don't have to worry about eyes being there inexplicably. Cool. So there's that, and then in terms of you open up the scroll case, it's got Pearl written, engraved on. Well, not engraved. What do you do with leather? You like stamp it or something? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's got Pearl written in the side of it. You go and Varuth, and that's the one. That's what we're looking for. And you open it up, and there is a map inside. The map leads to you can see all the different areas and so forth. It looks like sort of like a seaside town, and you can see that there is a tower drawn in the middle of the ocean, like off the coast. And we can talk more about what all the implications of that later. But the point is that you've found a map that leads you to the Black Pearl now.
Yeah,
be able to help Varuth.
Goodness me. I thought we were looking for a black pearl.
Well, you still are.
Yeah, indeed. But I didn't realize we were looking at a map for the black pearl. Goodness me. And he forgot about the eyeballs. Yeah, not much of a guide at all.
I McEyeface apparently is the name of the.
I'm kind of inclined to suggest he's called Keith, just as a nod to the Eurovision.
yeah. And if you don't like Keith, you can always call him Jim.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Keith, the level 0 audience participation character. Fantastic. Cool. All right. So yeah, you've got a map to the Black Pearl, and we can continue on next time and adventure to try and grab it and allow Varuth to return home. In terms of the wand, you've got a wand that allows you to be able to cast force manipulation once a day, and it calls into being a tower shield-sized wall of force at a point within 25 feet. Exists for 2d6 rounds and grants you +4 AC. I can give you all this detail later. That's what you got with the wand. And yeah, I didn't get to take any characters with my big bads, but I did get to take that spell off you. So yeah, it's lost. That one's lost forever. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, man, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So, yeah, it was really good. Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess we're at the end of the one who watches from below for Dungeon Crawl Classics. That's the end of our second scenario in the triplet of the Farg Saga. If you haven't seen the first scenario, that's already up on our YouTube channel, so go and check that out. And obviously, please do like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. We'll be back in a few weeks, and at some point during those next few weeks, we will announce exactly which scenario we will be playing if you haven't already guessed. I think I've got an idea, and I'm excited. Thank you so much to Judge Zach. And where can we find you if we're looking for you?
At Zach of the Hacker on Twitter, or in the Dark Orb Discord, really, if you want to have a chat.
Yeah, come along to the Dark Orb Discord. Erin, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
And Phil as well, thank you for joining. It has been awesome. I've really enjoyed the scenario. And I can't wait for the next one.
I was going to say, I really enjoyed blowing up all the heads, so I'm sorry it didn't get anything.
That was amazing.
That was excellent.
It was a good shot. We should probably say as well, if you want to come along and play, this is a road crew game, right? So we're open to having other people come and play with us if you want to.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And I believe that the next scenario is kind of the last scenario in this sort of triplet of scenarios, and then we'll call out to patrons and people on our Discord basically for the next lineup of players.
I really enjoyed the audience participation as well. So
that was great. It was really great.
That's good.
Yeah, the audience participation was good fun as well.
Yeah.
That was
a bit of genius there. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you very soon. And in the meantime, I hope your dice rolls are a lot better than mine. Mine were terrible today. Take care, everyone.
See ya.